Hi, welcome to Tech Moves. My name is Boma, and on Tech Moves we talk about technology, the strategy behind it, and why companies do what they do, and hopefully we have some fun and learn it too. This week we'll be talking about two companies, one, Amazon, and two, Clubhouse. So now to Amazon Build It. Amazon Build It is basically Kickstarter by Amazon and it's currently in its pilot phase. They started out by presenting 3 different products to the customers, Amazon customers, and basically allowed customers vote and choose one that will be produced. The catch in there is it's an Alexa-powered product, and it's essentially a to-do list printing machine. Now, if I was creating a platform for a to-do list printer, I'll make it open. The first thing I'll do is I'll make it Bluetooth enabled, connected to mobile phones basically, and maybe cloud second. However, Amazon has decided to kind of lock this into their Alexa strategy, and let's see how that goes. It's interesting to see how Amazon will use this to use the data they have to create new products and basically have customers pre-order and bear the risk. Happy Easter in arrears. If there ever was a time to talk about a reigning king trying to kill a baby in a crib, there's probably no better time. So let's talk about Clubhouse and why it's under attack by a ton of massive tech companies. So what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse is essentially, they call themselves a drop-in audio app. Now, what does that mean? In real life, it's essentially built around the premise that humans like to have conversations around the campfire in a two-way, multi-part type conversation. Now think of Clubhouse as essentially an audio-only TEDx where anyone could come on stage, and it had a couple of marquee speakers. That's essentially what Clubhouse is. Clubhouse cleverly leverages the FOMO factor, fear of missing out factor, to drive engagement within its app. So it's a real-time conversations, no redos, no playback. It just comes and goes, which seems like an interesting proposition. However, I'll tell you why that's a really bad thing, and it doesn't scale. Twitter, Spotify, Discord, Slack, LinkedIn, and even Mark Cuban. That's the short list of companies and people after Clubhouse. Now, why are all of these guys after a company who essentially just started, has only an iOS app, and arguably hasn't even fully launched? Well, it's really simple. In May last year, they were worth about $100 million, and now they're worth $1 billion. Why is that? In November last year, they had just 200-ish thousand users, and now they have about 6 million users and 10 million app downloads just with an iPhone app. They're still in beta, they have not fully launched, they have no Android app, and they have gotten such massive traction. Now that certainly scares the big companies that are in social media, and they have to do something about it. So let's go through the list of what the companies are doing. Twitter is launching Twitter Spaces. Well, we know Twitter hasn't done too great with increasing the size of its value offerings. Remember, Twitter bought Periscope, and I think that just shut down last month or so. So not too worried about Twitter. Now, who should Clubhouse be really worried about? They should be worried about Spotify, who just acquired a version of Clubhouse for sports engagement. Now, Spotify is to be feared because they have almost 350 million users who are used to listening to audio via their platform, listening to podcasts, and it's a natural extension for Spotify. Now, the other company that Clubhouse should probably be really worried about is Facebook. We know Facebook is great at essentially cloning features from competitors. Remember what Facebook did to Snapchat. So on my short list of guys to be feared, I'll say Spotify, Facebook, and finally LinkedIn. LinkedIn because Clubhouse's demographic kind of focuses on the business sector-ish, and there have been a lot of drop-in audio conversations with business leaders. Now, it's only natural that LinkedIn will respond and build up their LinkedIn Live feature and continue to roll that out. So I'd say Clubhouse should be afraid of those guys. If I was Clubhouse, what would I do? Number one, it's to realize that live content does not scale. It's almost antithetical to the idea of scaling and the internet. So live content absolutely does not scale. CNN repeats segments. So it's somewhat optimistic to imagine that you'll have a live platform that always has engaging conversations all the time in all niches, round the clock, for everyone in every time zone. So I don't think that's a wise thing to do. So I'd say, first of all, knock off the live content thingy. Live content is great, it allows for two-way conversation, but I'll start to think about ways to take those conversations and create continuous engagement on the platform. So is it using comments? Is it using the same audio to respond to different parts of the conversation? The second thing that I'd probably do is I'll maybe focus on a couple of really profitable niches that are always on. I don't know, maybe go down the path of a Twitch and focus on just gaming, but Clubhouse perhaps doesn't lend itself well to gaming. I'd probably say something around the poetry, music, arts community. You might find a way to build a really large following of people who are really passionate about those things and will drop in and do stand-up comedy and speeches and poetry and all of that, maybe. And the final thing I'll do is, if I was a young company that already had all of those enemies before an Android app, I'll sell, become rich, go buy an island somewhere in... Where do people buy islands? I don't know, but I'll go buy an island. Anyway, that's our conversation for this week. Tell me what you think about Clubhouse, their predicament, their opportunity, and what you'd do if you were in their shoes. Thank you.